Orc invasions are one of the most chaotic and violent ordeals any warrior can ever experience. There's absolutely no sense to a greenskin attack. Where a normal invader follows basic tactics and strategies in order to maximize its survivability during the initial void battle and then the subsequent planetfall, the Orcs just don't give a fuck. It is the obsessive goal of every single boy to be the first to get stuck in. It doesn't matter if he has to launch himself out of the battlecruiser that's barely inside the planet's atmosphere, or leap into the void hoping to land close enough to the enemy vessel to get in. The only thing holding back the insane battle lust of these Xenos is a slightly more controlled Nob that has made it clear to his boys that they better not jump the gun or risk decapitation by a big choppa. These wiser Orcs have a tiny bit more foresight to plan ahead and arrange a transport to get them safely to their target. And when I say safely, it doesn't really mean safely, because no Orc contraption is ever really safe for anyone, the defender or the attacker. Now, the most common transport vessel created by the Orc mechs is known as a brute ram ship. It's a spaceship in the shape of a giant knife. It's the orkiest thing you've ever seen, and it's used to stab itself into the enemy void ship at maximum speed with the purpose of damaging its target and disgorging its bloodthirsty warriors into the enemy ship via the enormous gash it just created. Now, this ship is excellent for void battles, but when it comes to planetary assaults, it would more than likely burn up during entry. For a vessel that is durable and fast enough to fight both in space and then land on a planet, the Greenskins created the Rock. And with that said, I want to welcome you guys back to another 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and today we're going to be talking about the Ork Rock. If you guys are new to the channel, we post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day. If you guys have suggestions for other topics of 40K that you guys would like me to do, or any project that you guys would like to see, just let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoy our content, thank our patrons on Patreon. It is because of them that we can do this. Link in the description if you guys want to support us. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Ork Rock. To put it simply, Ork Rocks are hollowed out asteroids used by the Greenskins as attack ships, landing transports, and even projectiles. These straightforward spacecrafts come in all shapes and sizes. Some are big enough to fit multiple Stompas in, while others hold only a small unit of infantry. Each one is as tough as the Orks crammed inside. They are capable of shrugging off head-on collisions with other asteroids, as well as thousands of pieces of scrap metal and debris released by the rest of the ramshackled ships in the fleet. During every voyage, the Orks inside each rock will pass the time by throwing things at each other in the hopes of either cracking or outright destroying the other rocks. On the rare chance that this catastrophe does happen, the Greenskins inside can either abandon the rock and join another vessel, or drift off into space, never to be seen again. Now, there are some rare rocks that are equipped with powerful void shields. If a war boss or a captain is lucky enough to have one of these in his fleet, he usually places it in the front of the fleet to act as a battering ram. Most of these rocks have some type of a device that allows propulsion, usually a set of rockets that are jammed into it by their attending mech boys. How maneuverable these rocks are is usually a mystery, but never disappoints the Greenskins, who are perfectly fine with crashing into anything, even if it's not their target. For the most part, these rockets are used for the charge during a void battle or to initiate a landing trajectory. However, when the Ork Rocks are traveling through space, they are almost always towed by an escort ship or a battle cruiser. This is actually a pretty dangerous job, as it can result in the attending voidcraft becoming part of the rock as it slams into the escort. Like all Orky contraptions, the rocks are usually equipped with some type of weapon, from grabbing claws and drills for close quarter fighting to zap guns and labas. However, Ork mech boys have learned the hard way that the smaller the rock, the less stacka it could take. After all, these things are hollowed out asteroids, so the recoil from a kill cannon is strong enough to break the Ork rock completely open like a piñata at a kid's birthday party. They also understand that the force of these guns are capable of changing the trajectory of the floating rock, making the entire void battle a lot harder. But that is if the Orks decide to fire instead of just charging straight into the enemy. The true power and glory of the Ork Rocks comes in their ability to land the Greenskins onto the surface of a world. The defenders look on in terror as a meteor shower of death hurtles towards them. When an Ork Rock makes impact, it is powerful enough to tear a hole into any fortification, as long as it doesn't smash apart, which happens a lot. Not only do these vessels slam into the surface and crush anything below them, but the shockwave of their landing is devastating. Each landed rock becomes a bastion for the Orks, a rallying point in a ready-made fortress. It's a strategy that is almost impossible to counter unless a planet has enough firepower to destroy every single rock that comes crashing down. The most famous use of this tactic was seen during the Third War for Armageddon, when the forces of the Prophet of the Wog, Gatsgul Magor Thraka, battered the Hive World with his rocks. They landed all across the planet, some even plunged to their death in the world's huge oceans, but when they did properly land, they were incredibly dangerous. As well as being equipped with guns, the rocks contained teleporter arrays. These were swiftly used to bring Ork reinforcements to the planet, countering any Imperial attack. These included special kill marine mobs, stompas, artillery, and even gargants. This meant that once the Orks survived the landing, reinforcement was indefinite for the Orks. To this day, these massive fortresses are still fully functional and a massive target for the Imperial defenders of the world. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Oh, if you pick up my pretty